Welcome to Community Cuts live from Brooklyn, New York. Well, we're here at Salon Leahing, 732 Washington Avenue between Prospect Place and Park Place. A Black-owned business that been in business for at least 20 years. Come out, and please support them as well. We have a blackout that's coming out February 28th, where we're just not shopping at all, supporting our Black businesses. So, with that being said, please support Salon Leahing. If you're from Brooklyn, please come out and support Salon Leahing. 718-230-4100. If you need to call for an appointment, I mean, they're excellent beauticians, excellent barbers, they're excellent people. And if you're looking for high energy, you come to the right place, Salon Leahing. So please come out. Well, we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day and what Valentine's mean. We're going to go through a chronological meaning of Valentine, as well as the just some deep stuff that maybe that we didn't know about, and things that went over our heads. And so we're going to be talking about that as well. I'm sure that most of the family have seen the Super Bowl with Kendrick Lamar, and he has opened up a lot of doors, and we're happy for the young man that did what he did, and we love that as well. So we got some information that we're gonna give to the family, and hopefully that you'll take it, you research it, and you'll see what we're talking about. And with that being said, one love, and we will go forward with the Community Cuts show. And with that being said, Mike, how are you?
Yes, sir. Good evening. Good evening.
Jake, you disconnected. You have to come here and fix it. Sorry.
How do I do that?
Okay, we're back.
No, we're not back.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not back. This is here. No, we're
Okay.
not back. There we go. Now we're
Okay.
back. Okay. Do you want to go back on, put it back on?
It's running. All that appeared to the public. So continue.
Yes, family, we're about to start the show, and we ask you to we apologize asking you to certain things that we have to technology that we had to fight through, but we're back. So, Mike, open up the show
Yes, sir.
in terms
Yes,
of your
sir.
knowledge, and we're here to share knowledge to our community.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to say thank you for inviting me out and giving me a chance to shed some light on this holiday that so many people spend so much money and time and a great deal of effort in, and trace its origins, so to speak. I don't say I know it all, but I do know something. Anyway, with that being said, when you deal with holidays, you have to deal with the history of holidays. When you deal with history itself, you have to deal with history and go back and trace the roots of things and things that are said today, and then see if they compare with what took place before and match up or whatever the case may be. And this particular holiday that we're talking about, is called Valentine's Day. But from what I've found, it finds its origins in a holiday that took place centuries before, known as Lupercalia, Lupercalia, Lupercalia. And what it deals with, it was a festival that was promoted in Rome for purification and health and fertility. The Lupercalia festival took place on February 15th, sometimes on the 14th. every year in Palatin Hill in the Lupercalia grave. Okay, Lupercalia festival began with animal sacrifice, followed by the feast of Lupercal. After the Lupercal feast ran the Palatin Hill. They feast. Okay, after the feast, priests ran from Palatin Hill to the Roman Forum, whipping people with stripes of animals. This was supposed to cleanse the body, and promote health and fertility. Now, although the origins of Lupercalia are unknown, historians have several theories for what the festival celebrates. It may be in honor of a god that protected farmers and animals against wolves, or it may be named after the Lupra, the she-wolf that rescued the different founders of Rome. And I said Romulus and Remus were their names, okay? Now, for those who may or may not be familiar with the history, Romulus and Remus were brothers. They were twins. And while laying the foundations of Rome, Romulus slew Remus. And this is where Rome gets its name from.
Oh, excuse me for 1 second. So I'm not really sure if we said it. It's about the Valentine's Day, the true Valentine's Day, how it was created, the origin of it.
Correct.
I'm not sure if we said that, but we're talking about the true genesis of Valentine's Day, how it was created, and what it means, and
Correct.
then go forward.
Well, that's why. I'm sorry. I was just trying to set it in motion because this is what was the forum of what eventually became Valentine's Day. Although the origins of the Lupercalia are unknown, historians have several theories for what the festival celebrates. It may have been in honor of that god that protected farmers and their animals against wolves. Now, as we know with the history of Rome, as far as the way they document it, Rome was founded by Romulus and Remus. And Romulus and Remus is kind of like a Cain and Abel story where Romulus slays the other brother. He slays his brother. I'm trying to remember his name here. Okay, Romulus and Remus. He slays Remus. And this is where Rome gets its name from, so to speak. This is their origin. They were, once the mother passed, they were raised by a she-wolf. And this is where the story of Rome, or not Rome, but yet the Romans take their history from. I don't know if people are familiar with that or not. But the thing is that what I would like to bring out going forward and skipping over, I just want to give an idea where this holiday finds its origin. However, when you get into the history of Rome, you will find that they will tell us that the Romans were the most formidable army that the world had ever seen. I don't necessarily agree with that, but this is what they say. However, the Romans in their army denied men to be able to marry. You could not marry and be in the Roman army. However, and I'm not stepping on anyone's toes or being disrespectful, to each his own, homosexuality was promoted in the Roman army, and men were forbidden to marry. Okay, so with that being said, the reason why a lot of people say that took place is because they felt that if a man was to fight, he would fight harder for his lover. So this is where that came into play. Now, with the Feast of Valentine, what happened was Valentine was a Christian priest years later who began to marry Roman soldiers without the permission of Rome. Well, they didn't give permission, he was doing it on his own. However, with the marrying of the troops, they began to kind of fall out of line, so to speak. They weren't, they wanted to be able to be with their wives and children or whatever the case may be. And this had a lot to do with the, not so much chaos, should I say, but with the Roman soldiers kind of rebelling, so to speak. So that was the part of it. Now, what happened is that when they found out that St. Valentine was marrying these people, what they did is they sought him out. And if you read anything dealing with the angels of Rome, you'll find out they were some of the bloodthirstiest people. I can't say that, but at that time, they were some of the most bloodthirsty. They had no problem taking somebody's life, you understand? Now, were they the meanest army that ever took place? No, I wouldn't agree with that either. But they definitely fought, and they fought vigilantly. But anyway, when they found out that they were marrying the Roman soldiers, what happened is that they began to slay him and kill him. So what happened when they found out the saint, because some say they were two St. Valentines, but some say only one and they were actually the same person. But what it was is that when they found out that St. Valentine was doing these marriages, they went after him. And what they did is that they said that they cut his heart out. And this is where your hearts come from in Valentine's Day, so to speak. And the chocolate comes from the corrugated blood that dries. And when it dries, if you've ever seen dry blood, it's brown like chocolate, you understand? So this is where this goes in. And this thing goes in and they propagate it and it's supposed to be a thing of love, but people don't really understand the origin of these things. And this is what I was bringing out and had spoke to Duke in regards to, wanted to share with people, because we just take things on face value, you know. And even with some of the holidays, as far as Christmas, we'll deal with that at another time. But the fact is that that's also something that could be looked at and held, because, well, I'm not going to deal with that because we deal with Valentine's Day. I'm not going to branch into Christmas or Christ Mass. But the fact is that, yeah, you have to look into these holidays and find out what is it you're actually, you know, spending money on and getting all wired about and feeling that you need to take part of, and find out that they have some really, really, what do you want to call it, bloodthirsty origins. And this is what it's really, really all about. So when I was talking to Duke about it, he hadn't heard that. And I said I wanted to bring that to him. I really wanted to take time to give out leaflets and pamphlets in regards to, you know, what I had found in regards to it. And I still will put that together. But, you know, it's no problem. But the thing was is that I just wanted to get that point, that this thing that people spend millions and millions of dollars on yearly, you know, trying to show their affection and love is not everything that it's cracked up to be. So with that being said, if anyone else has anything else they want to say in regards to it, ask.
No, I just appreciate you for sharing that,
Yes.
because I was not aware of that,
Yes.
that background,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
I'd only know, you know, I'd heard about an emperor not allowing
Young
the
soldiers to
young
marry, yes,
soldiers
yes,
to
yes,
marry,
that's correct.
but I did not know all the other
No,
information.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's like how we get the whole them wanting to burn the books and
Yes.
not teach Black history or
Correct,
anything else.
correct.
That's yeah.
Well, you know, they say if you want to hide something from
Put
the
it in
black,
the book.
there you go, there you go, you know. But
Yeah,
the thing
I
is
heard
that there's a lot of things, even with the story of Christianity, and I don't want to branch from one thing into another, but if you go according to the version that we get, you'll find out that there are many flaws in it. You understand? And, you know, they say with the crucifixion, as far as that was concerned, the crucifixion was for sedition.
For what?
Sedition.
Okay.
You were crucified not because you crossed at not at the green and in between, or that you didn't observe Sabbath or whatever. The reason you were crucified in Israel during the time of the Roman occupation is that you had been, what is the term that they use? That you were sedition to Rome. So that could be anything. All right. Now, we use the cross for a different reason, but they did it for another. And there was a reason why. But the fact is that the cross itself was a symbol or an instrument used during the Phoenicians. It was used in the festival. And they didn't actually crucify, they put them on there. But it was just a thing of bringing another spring, that the grass will grow and the flowers will bloom and the crops will flourish. This is what they did. But it was a festival. It wasn't a thing of the actual crucifixion. But when the Romans saw them up there, and they said, well, you know, we can work with that. And it was something altogether different. So I don't want to go from Valentine's Day into Easter or Christmas or whatever. But you have to study these things that we call ourselves being so bound to and believing in and taking on face value. You know, and this is the thing that I think that a lot of people need to understand. That's why I shared it with you. And if it's something you want to ask.
No, I thank you, because a lot of times that our community don't have that historic knowledge that you're professing to us. And we're grateful for that as well.
Yes, well, you know.
And so, you know, our community needs to know. We got a open door with Kendrick Lamar that opened up this Super Bowl and dropping knowledge as well as you are dropping some gems and some knowledge in our community. So, you know, we look forward to hearing from you. And yeah, no, we appreciate it. Community Cuss family appreciate it.
Yes, yes. There's so much, you know. I mean, theology has always been something with me. I used to practice Islam and I was zealous with it. I practiced Judaism, went from one to the other. I went backwards into history, so to speak, or into religion, so to speak. But you'll find all the elements of those religions right there in Egypt. You'll find the cross that you use today is nothing but the Ankh of the Egyptians, you understand?
Right.
But people don't pay attention and put two and two together. And it wasn't because somebody died on it, it was because it was the key to life. You understand? This is what it was. It was a key, you know, and this is what it was. And even that symbol shows the union of male and female. The top with the circle or the somewhat circle is a woman's uterus, and the staff coming up is the man's organ, his penis, and then the two pieces on the side are the children that come from that union, you see. So this is stuff that we haven't, you know, dealt with or paid attention to, and we need to really get beyond just what these people tell you and get your head in the book. You want to hide something put it in a book, you understand? And we have to get away from that and find out what these things are all about. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with it as far as the holiday is concerned, as far as the idea of it. But when you get into the origins of it, you see how gory it could really, really be. And when the Romans killed. They didn't just stab you and let you go. They did work. This is it. They say that they were the most formidable army. I don't know about formidable, but I know they were bloodthirsty. And you know, the thing of quartering someone and all that other stuff, that didn't start in the United States. That started with the Romans, you know, cutting cords in the arm, take off and go this direction. You know, yes, behead you. That's correct. You know, and this is it. But yet the United States is the offshoot of the Roman Empire. That bald eagle that you're looking at, you know, it's you see, and you have to look at some of the stuff that's taking place now. And I'm not going to breach into or go into politics, but look at what's going on with the country and your commander-in-chief and some of the stuff that's going on. I'm gonna touch on this and I'm gonna let it go. I do admire those two attorneys who have stepped down rather than give up them charges on Eric Adams. Now, I'm not gonna, everybody's got their own opinion, and I'm not gonna get into that, but I'm gonna tell you that that is what that's all about. People have to be held accountable, you understand, be it in politics, in the church, or religion, or whatever. You know, you should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And with that being said, is there anything else you want to ask?
I mean, and that's a whole mouthful of knowledge, and
oh boy,
and we appreciate.
No,
that.
thank you. Now, if they start circling my house, all right, I want you to come out there with the, you know, equipment. You
well, you live in, brother. You're living in the time.
I'm not worried about it.
You're living in the time of Aquarius, man. You're protected by the Cosmo law.
Definitely. Yeah. But I thank you for the opportunity to be able to reach other people and share the information. And I'm sorry that I didn't come as equipped as I had planned to, but I did want to show how these holidays definitely have to, you know, just don't take things on face value, you know, and that's it. Yes. Well, I try to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just surface.
Yes.
It's all about
Yes. Well, yes. Thanksgiving, selling a turkey. But what happened to the so-called the pilgrims all around? But what happened to the Indians? You understand? They weren't sitting at the table. And how they extended themselves. Had it not been for the Indians, the pilgrims would have never made it. They would have never lasted, you know. But these things are never taught and they're never told. But anyway, we're not going to breach into or go into. I'm sorry.
Yeah, before we started the podcast, we talked about we've been here.
Yes.
And it's not about 1619 because we've been here.
No.
Explain that to us, my brother.
Well, I mean, as far as we know, and those who deal with anthropology, so on and so forth, will tell you that those who want to be truthful, that humanity itself finds its beginnings in the continent of Africa. All right. And from Africa, it went into different parts of the world. And because of being in different parts of the world, climate had effect on certain things and other things it didn't. But color was one of them. You know, where there's less light or less sun, you know, as far as melanated people, you're not going to have that if you're not really melanated or have a great deal of it. And this is it. But the African went out and went into other parts of the world. You had Roman emperors that sat on the throne. I'm trying to remember. See, I didn't come prepared with that, but there were a few Roman emperors that actually sat on the throne that were of color. And I ain't talking about mulatto, you understand? And this is it. Many of their tactics that they did in warfare, they got from Africans and people in the Middle East, or in the East, but they never tell you that, so this is just the way it is. And even with the religion, they hijacked that, and then, well, by the time they got it, it was Catholicism, but then you have this group of people who claim to be Jews who are Jewish. Yeah, and we're gonna let that out of water.
I mean, that's not flying over our heads.
No,
But
no.
we understand what you're saying
Yes,
because
yes.
we're living in a time of Aquarius, so all things that are hidden must come out. And I think that people are now understanding that, and we had a great version of that with Kendrick Lamar and how he brought some stuff out.
I didn't see it because I'm not big into sports or football anymore.
Right.
But the fact is that when I saw the one with the Uncle Sam uniform or Samuel Jackson,
Samuel Jackson.
I didn't know what to make out of that. I really didn't, But if that's what people want to see, and they enjoy it. They enjoy it.
Yeah, it has many layers. Many layers.
Well, what would America have been without slavery? Think about it. Do I need to say more? Yeah. Do I need to say more? What would this country have been without slavery? This is it, and it still exists, but just on a different level. And this is it. They took the chains off your hands and feet, and they put them on your mind. With that being said, I'm gonna say goodnight. What's that?
Hold on there. Hold on. We have the host coming in tonight.
Okay.
We have the host coming in
move on to
tonight.
the other
Hold on a
side of
second.
This is it. But good evening.
So
Yes.
what is love? This is a conversation.
Yes, I know we
about
went
love.
far. It got radical, but no,
Not complaining,
no. I mean, I had to show that. But love is. Well, let me ask you: do you love with your heart or do you love with your mind? I'll let women answer that question. Or, Billy?
Yeah.
I said both.
Because
Now
yeah.
look, wait a minute. I'm outnumbered over here.
You are. I know. I thought about that too. Yeah. I think for me, it starts with my heart, but then I'm attracted to the mind, So it's difficult. It can be difficult at times, And for me, I don't allow my heart to take over until I feel that I'm mentally connected with a man,
Okay.
like really connected.
So you're able to differentiate between the two, as far as the heart and the mind.
I
Or
think
does the
so.
heart dictate to the mind, or does the heart or the mind dictate to the heart?
I'm a very rational individual.
Okay.
So my mind takes over more.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do we equate as far as love is concerned, coming from a woman's point of view, if you don't mind me asking? I mean, everybody has their own idea of what love is or what it's supposed to be. And I just ask, I'm not putting you on the spot or anything like that.
For me, I feel that love is a mutual understanding and respect for each other, and a willingness to really compromise, But within all that, I still feel like there's like just this energy that the two people have, and then you decide whether or not but some people fit and some people don't,
I understand. True.
So yeah,
This is it though.
So,
but when you say the heart and the mind, I'm listening to that. I don't know, do we rationalize this thing, or is it just something that I guess it's different to everybody?
Yeah, it's different for everybody, but somebody else can surely chime in. But
Yes,
I was
yes.
talking about for me.
Yes,
For
I
me,
understand. Yes.
I don't let the heart take over because for me, I'm not going to get there with the heart until the mind, until me and the gentleman connect mentally, Yeah.
But there are those who feel that more so it's a thing of the mind than actually the heart. Some say the heart doesn't.
A lot of people say that.
Yes.
I think that comes from people being hurt you know, again and again. Then there's like, you know what, I'm only going to give so much
True.
because they don't want to be hurt again.
Then we can see things that have the heart like almost tear it out your chest. You know? So, you know, it's the seat of the emotions is what the philosophers always said about it. But the fact is, I agree to a certain extent that it is more so a thing of a mind because you're constantly thinking of them or what you can do for them or, you know, ahead of the game, you know, whatever the case may be, trying to be there supportive, whatever the case may be. And sometimes it's something that, you know, you can love yet not be loved, so to speak.
That's
you know?
True.
And that's something that is not something that people want to go through. But it's all part of the game. You know, I shouldn't call it a game.
I was going to say.
No, I'm getting put now. But no, it's all part of the setup. You know, I mean, it's a give and take situation, so to speak. You know? I done been down that road. I had the shock treatment and all that, married and all that other stuff like that. Thought I was doing the right thing, and I'm not tearing them down, but it didn't work out. But if I'd have probably courted her more like another year or so, it might have been different. You know? But I'm not crying about it. You know, it's a good thing. I mean, you live and you learn. You know, and as the spirit says, it takes a fool to learn. Yes, so that's what that's all about, and that's the way I look at it. But no, it's a beautiful thing when it's real and genuine.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
This is it. But when you just, you know, do touch and go, that's something altogether different.
Yeah. Through time, you know, it's interesting. I remember my mother saying something years ago. She had said, and my father had died when I was like in upper high school, and she said, Kim, no one, you're never going to know everything about whomever you're with because even if you've been married for 20 something years, people are often just showing their representative, you know? And I was just like, oh, really? And she was just like, yeah. And so she said that, she just said that, don't expect perfection.
No.
You know, don't expect, you know. And, you know, I definitely, you know, I try to live honestly, openly, and I'd like the same. You know what I mean?
True.
And I think honesty is that really important one. You know, so in it's difficult for a lot of people to be that.
Okay.
So I kind of step back and, you know, guard myself.
Yeah, well, we do that. You know, you have to protect yourself. You know, because a lot of times things are not necessarily what they may seem to be. So this is just the way it goes. But I think that it's possible to obtain it in a true sense. You know, but I think it's a lot of work. It's a constant. It's not like, okay, we get married, we in love, and everything. No, it's a constant. You got to constantly be working on this. Because things come up. You know, things happen. You know, and this is it. And I think one of the greatest trials is when someone gets ill. You know, and to see, you know, I mean, he's down at the bowling alley with the fellas, but you're not, so whatever. And I'm not going to put it just on the men. I mean, it goes either way. But the fact is that I always was made to understand that love was supposed to be that which was felt by one was felt by another. That's what I was told. Now, how true it is, that's something altogether different. But I'm not going to try to sound like I'm the philosopher in regards to it. But you would, I think that's in my opinion, that was one of the best ways of explaining it.
I don't think that it's always going to be at the same level from both parties. Yeah. And if it's not at the exact same level, I feel that the two people should at least have that respect to, you know, like remain in the relationship. And if either chooses that they no longer wish to be in it, they should come to another person before they step out of it. Come to them, come to their partner before they step out of it.
Okay.
And I feel that men often go out and find somebody else before they close out what's going on at home.
Well, let me see. Being a man, try to be a man. Just say, men are hunters. Now, some hunters are tamed. Or not when I say tamed, they know how far to go with things, and then those that just go beyond. So that's the thing that I think men struggle with. You know, this thing of being able to, can you be in love with more than one person at a time? You know, that's a good question. So I'm not going to try to answer that, but I'll leave it to the floor and let her take over. Good evening. I know, don't jump on me yet. I know I'm gonna move over and let Duke
No,
sit here.
no, not at all. I'm actually entertained
Stay
by the
there.
idea. I absolutely love it.
Wow.
I can surely introduce myself
Mhm.
if Duke could hit the live button on there because we're going to stream on 2 YouTube channels. So he's gonna hit it as soon as you see the arrow go over live. And my name is Miss Bliss. By the way, what's your name?
Mr. What am I talking about? My name is Michael.
Michael.
Wallace, yes.
Kimberly.
Kimberly, nice to
Okay.
meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
No, the other button. There you go. You got to go further over. Over more. Yeah. You're hitting. You got to move your fingers. Your fingers over to the left. Let me do it. Here, you gotta click on this side. So this is not going. So let's go.
All right, Miss Bliss. How are you, Mrs. Bliss? Welcome to Community Cuts. You've been on Community Cuts before, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you know what we're talking about today. Talking about that sweet sensation of Valentine's Day. Let me understand where you're coming from in terms of what does Valentine's means to you and the love that comes with that.
Yes. Welcome everyone. We are live streaming on 2 YouTube channels. I am Miss Bliss. Welcome to Journey to Bliss. I'm here with the brother Duke at Community Cuts, and also we have our guests Michael and Kimberly who are joining us this evening. And so the question is, what does Valentine's mean to me, to us? For me, I know there are a lot of people speaking about Valentine's and what the original date represents. The negative connotations in connection to romance, and all of the sacrificial sexual things that go on with individuals and children. But tonight, I want to stay on the energy of bliss, love, abundance, prosperity, and positiveness in the relationship. And that's what Valentine's Day means to me. It's where I take that negative energy that other people are projecting, and the idea is that I project out the positive energy that I want to represent on this day. And so with that said, I enjoy this day, not only just in terms of lovers, you know, when you have someone that you are in love with and you're in a relationship with. To me, it also means love of myself, love of my brother, and love of my sisters, and love of my family, love with all of my friends. And so that's really what it represents. So I just want to say that part. Oh, I adjust this mic. Y'all do got all this fancy stuff up here. I ain't used to all of this, you know. I feel like I want to. There you go. Thank you, Duke. Is it up? Oh, he wants to go down on me for some reason. So that's what Valentine's Day to me means. It means just love overall, love in general. And I know some people like to look at it in terms of, just your lover, but it's more than that to me. Mm-hmm. It's love of humanity.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I'm sorry. Is we getting ready to say?
No. I wasn't. I was agreeing with her.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things. I mean, I understand as far as the concept of it, and how we have been trained, so to speak, to think as far as love is concerned and what it consists of and what it doesn't consist of. And then you have situations where you have people that, if you're from the outside looking in, you're like, how do the two of them stay together? You know,
That's true.
But then for some reason or another, there's some formula between the two of them. So I agree that it can be something other than, what we normally conceive to be love. I think it's something that's an individual call, so to speak, as far as people are concerned, and the idea of it itself. But I think that a lot of it has to do with the way that you're brought up or groomed to believe what love is supposed to be. Oh, if he loved me, he wouldn't do that, or she wouldn't do that, or, and this is it. Then you have to realize that people before you have maybe dealt with others and have been exposed to a lot of different things. Why you just can't draw a line and say, you don't love me because X, Y, Z. So with that being said, I'll turn that over. you want to work with that, I'm just putting it out there.
Well, I honestly believe there are levels to love when it comes to people. Sometimes you feel more like you're in love with someone, and sometimes you feel like, yeah, I love you, but it's not the same. So this is why sometimes when you're in a relationship with someone, you feel more of that strong passion and that yearning for them. And then someone else is like, I love you, I'm here for you, but yeah, I might go and be with somebody else, or it's not the same. I also feel like when you have a broken heart, people always say, this person I was in love with broke my heart. And our hearts are broken in so many different ways from so many different relationships. Our parents break our hearts. Our friends, our coworkers are breaking our hearts. Our hearts are always being broken in so many different levels. And so we go into these relationships with broken hearts. And we use the word, love is sort of a word that we take for granted. Everyone spits out I love you within the first week of dating someone. Sometimes it could be within the first month, but usually you'll find within the first week when they're transmitting fluids, the first thing that wants to come out somebody's mouth is I love you. And generally, do we really know what love is? How can you love someone when you don't even really love yourself? You would know if you love yourself because certain things would be going on from within you spiritually in terms of your growth of knowledge about love and how to accept love, how to recognize love, and therefore how to also give love. So.
Okay. While you were talking, I was thinking, and everybody has a different concept of it. It's not something that's etched in stone, so to speak. And a lot of times you feel like you do more, and sometimes more, or sometimes less is more. It all depends on the individual. So I think it takes time before you can actually say, not on first sight, I fell in love. I mean, you might have been enamored or whatever the case may be, but as far as love, genuine, that's something altogether different. Because then it takes on a different stage. Because there are times in life where one of them gets sick. Let's see how much you love me now. Are you willing to come in here and do what needs to be done for me because I'm not able to do it, and so on? Or are you going to go out there and hang out with the boys, or whatever the case may be? So I think that it has a lot to do with the individual and their concept of the relationship and their sincerity in the relationship. That's my take.
Let's go around the room and let everybody just hear that want to explain.
Yeah, because I'm tired of being on the hot seat, man.
Oh, it's not.
I'm sorry. You want to come over? I can. Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm
no,
good
we want to
here.
get you on camera too, because I'm camera shy. So we'll let you go ahead.
No, she's good.
Yeah, I'm good. Believe me,
I
I'm
can't-
good.
Got me trapped tonight. Okay, it's okay.
Well, to me, love could be good. Love could be bad. It's depending on how you accept it. So, to me, I guess love is love. Love is freedom. Love is free spirited. Love is joy. Love is pain. Love is abstract. Love is motivation. Love is open air. Love is energy. Love is love.
True. Love is mirroring.
Yeah.
I think that it really depends on, what side of the bed you woke up on
Right.
that morning, how love plays itself in your life. But I think that for the most part, you give what you get.
Right.
So you get what you give, I guess I'm saying. But I feel that people need to get more and more clear on just articulating however it is they're feeling, within a relationship. And that we as people need to be comfortable with accepting others as they are without trying to change them. I think that is an act of love,
Okay.
Let me ask you all something. What's the difference between in love and love? There is a difference.
Mm-hmm. You can
So-
have love for somebody, but not be in love with them, and yeah, I think that's like,
Well, no, I
What?
was just thinking, no, you ready?
No.
No, there are different aspects to love. You know, there are different categories that it falls into. You know, they have so many different. And if I'd have thought about it, I would have looked up. Then you have amore, and then you have all types of different types of definitions of love. You know, and this is it though. So when you said that, it made me think about it. And it, as you said, it may not be the same to
Right.
someone else that
Right.
it is to you. You know, and sometimes you have to, I guess, bring it to their attention. Oh, you don't love me. What do you mean I don't love you? You know what I mean? I mean, I'm here, we're together, you know,
Yeah.
I pay the bills, but that's not necessarily all.
and
Love,
that
right.
brings us to everyone has a different love language. And does that your partner's love language match you?
That's true.
You know? And if it doesn't match totally or in its entirety, are you able to find a happy medium where, you know, they do some things that they know you like, they wouldn't normally do, but they know you like it, so they do it, and vice versa.
It's funny you say that though, because I remember an older woman telling me one time that she said, when I got married, I learned what my husband liked and what he didn't like, and what he didn't like, I didn't do. She said, but I mean, that was just, but that was, you know, but I guess she was willing to remain, you know, but, you know, that was it. But I guess that same goal would apply to him as well, you know, but the fact is that people, I guess, have a vague concept. It's not something that you can just nail on the wall and say,
Right.
well, that's love,
Yeah,
you know, and it's just the way it goes. If she was willing to take the not subordinates, part, but calm down.
It may be on both
Love-
sides. It's
Yeah.
give and take.
Well, that's true.
It may
Because
be
love is like
on-
reading
yeah.
a book. You know,
Yeah.
love is like reading a book, because if we could read the same books, but the concept,
Mhm.
I might come, you know, I will come up with a different concept. And I said,
Mhm.
where did she see that in the book? I didn't see her concept. So it's an open book.
Sure, it's vague. It's somewhat.
It's not nailed in, it's not in
No,
stone.
Not cut in stone. No, it's
I
not.
think you meant submissive. I think that's the
No,
word
no,
you were looking for. Did you mean subordinate or submissive?
Well,
Submit.
no.
That's what the men want. No, look, he don't want to be in the hot
No,
seat.
You know, a lot of them do, though.
A lot of them,
A lot of them do.
exactly.
A lot of them do.
I think
They-
he's
you
afraid.
know,
They want that submissive woman and who submits to everything that they say.
No,
or
I don't want that.
subordinate.
I don't want
But
that.
that's not, I
No, it's
mean,
not love.
it might be love for some, it might be
That's
love
based
for
on
some.
love. That's getting
Because
along. That's
right.
what it is. That's you preventing from trying to bump heads. So,
Mhm.
all right, that's what you want. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. But the fact is, I'll tell you, I grew up with 5 sisters. I was really boy. So therefore, I think I have a pretty good idea of what love can be. I mean, not only sisters is family, of course, but being around them, and you know, everyone has a different personality, and yet you're able to get along with all of them. You understand, or have a certain way to contact or know when to reach them. You know, then I think that's something. And I mean, I think I've taken that out into the world with me. But the fact is that, you know, today things are so, how do I say it, complicated. To say the least. You know, they put more into it than what really needs to be there. It's not hard. It's really not hard. And it's not something that you got to go to college to learn.
Right.
You know? But the thing is, I think the biggest part of it is respect.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
more so than anything
I
else,
must say,
respect, yes.
my father was the only boy with
Yes.
7 sisters,
Okay.
and then he had only daughters.
Wow.
So I'm just like,
Okay, so he had a big heart. He had a big heart.
yeah,
a
big
very
heart. And
yeah.
he always said, I've been there, I've seen it all, and I've done it all.
Okay.
And so he was like, yeah, watch out for the men.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
So,
yeah,
you know,
no,
so I was
definitely.
always like,
You know,
okay.
it's so funny. I wanted to double back for what you said about when the person is sick and if you're going to be there, and how when you go through the vows and in marriage, they say through sickness
Death do us
and
part.
health.
Mhm.
And I was reading an article not too long ago that, did you know that today when a woman, and specifically a woman who is married to a man, is diagnosed with cancer,
Mhm.
and it was because I had some family members who were diagnosed with cancer who were married. They usually advise the husband that if he's going to leave, that he needs to prepare to do so and to not stick. There's literally documentation on advising the husband on preparing to leave the wife while she has cancer, because there's more of a chance of him not sticking around anyway. When I read this, I wanted to know what was the research on the reverse. And they had no research on that. And the doctors were prepared to counsel the men on on leaving. And I thought that I couldn't even believe what I was reading or what I was hearing. And
I'm not laughing. I'm sorry, but
yeah.
I've never heard that before. But
is that love? Because you're married.
But why is it okay for him when it comes to her, but yet she's there doing everything that needs to be done when it's dealing with him? No. Love it's a two-way street. It's not I'm not saying that everything's going to be even Steven, but the fact is that in a situation like that, no. And I have witnessed that in my lifetime with not so much myself, but with family members. And you can see that as the tree began to wither, that
difficult.
Yeah. Well, not only difficult, but I don't even know if it was really cracked up to be what it should have been in the beginning, to tell you the truth. But the fact is that I was there for him. That's the only thing I was concerned about. But to hear that and to hear the doctors are actually telling people, I'm glad you brought that out. I've never heard that before. Even though it may exist in the relationship, the fact is, you gotta, what they say, put on a happy face or whatever. It's not always good when you're walking in there and seeing them go through what they go through or whatever the case may be. But the fact is, I'm married, but that was short and, well, I don't know about the sweet part, but it was all right. I've learned my lesson. I can say that part, and I'm not saying that in a negative sense. I know better than to do what I did before. And it wasn't a thing on my part. It was just a thing we were two young people. And I called myself doing the right thing, and they weren't on the same page. And it was just the way it was, And this is it. I was doing what I felt I should have been doing. I didn't have to look for me. Bills are being paid, so on and so forth. I'm not mistreating you or whatever the case may be. But she was younger, and sometimes in life, when people tell you things, you need to listen. And my sister told me I had a sister in the hospital that was actually going through cancer and being treated and so on and so forth. And she told me, she says, Michael, whatever you do, she says, don't marry that girl, And with her losing the sister, and then you feel like something's been pulled from under you. So and it looked like that's what she wanted. And I wanted it, but I felt that, well, it wouldn't be all, and I'm not going to go through all of that. But the fact is, it was a mistake. And my sister, what she said, she saw something I didn't see, And women know women. I'm going to tell you, y'all know each other, you just check each other out, and okay, I got her number, let me stop it. Women are very, very, they pick up. They with the vision and everything else, And it was I got beyond it, but the fact is that I did listen, and I should have, And this is it. But with that being said, it's not that I would never do it again, but I've learned, and this is not a wedding. It is
I thought you this whole time thinking he's married.
No.
Why you got that finger? You trying to keep him away?
No, I'm a 33rd degree Mason, and this is how you wear it.
And you wear it on the ring finger?
No, this is how you're supposed to wear it. That's the way that
Okay.
So wait, I have a question.
Oh, Lord.
Could it have possibly been that maybe you were in lust as opposed to love? Because the question is, do people know the difference between the two? And can lust drive you into a relationship and then into a dedication of wanting to be married to that person?
Okay. And I hear what you're saying loud and clear. I thought I was in love. I was young. You understand? It's not like I had been around the block 20 times or nothing like this here. I felt sorry for her, truthfully. Her mother passed when she was a child, 6 years old. She got handed off to people that were supposed to be family, they weren't family, so on and so forth. Ended up in a girl's home. And things went from there. And we met when I was working on Wall Street. And that's how I met her. And I think I was more sympathetic. Now looking back, hindsight being 2020, I think I was more sympathetic. I did love her. I thought I did. But then again, as the Spirit said, it takes a fool. You know what I'm saying? It takes a fool to learn. There's no guarantees in love.
Right.
What works today may not work tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. I've learned that now. But when I was younger, in my 20s, I thought I was doing the right thing. But like I said, my sister told me in the hospital, whatever you do, don't do it. And I did it. So when you're a child and somebody tells you not to do something, you do it. You know what happens. You get them buttons warmed up. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that was my little warming up with that there. But it's not that I would never do it again. But I just haven't put myself out there like that. And then, you kind of put on your pads, and so to speak, as they would say in football, And this is just the way it goes. So, you know, if it ever happened again, it'd be good. It'd be nice, I guess. Maybe now being older, you see it a little bit differently. I think love when you're young is one thing, or younger. And then when you get up a certain age, then it's a little bit different.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you never compromise. You should never compromise. Not like that, you know, where you just.
You never compromise. You never compromise, and you never stop living.
Yeah, no.
And you never stop loving.
Loving, right.
You never stop
I
loving.
agree.
Never, ever, ever.
And you get beyond it. You know, this is it though. So that's the way that goes. Duke, we're gonna talk because you got me in here. I know. For all of this, you know what I'm saying?
He's in the hot seat.
No, it's not that hot because you know
I need to
truth
go
is
back.
light. So
Yes.
but no, it's all part of the learning experience.
It is.
And this is the way it goes. There's no guarantee. I thought I would just come in here and say my piece and be gone, but I see that, you know, and this is just the way it is. But no, there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, as far as the holiday is concerned, I think we get too much into the materialistic aspect. What is a rose versus a dozen roses? You know what I'm saying? A rose is still a rose, but any other name is the same. But the fact is, I guess the more the merrier, whatever the case may be. But then again, you have those who put in a great deal of finance and
Effort.
Yes, but are they really sincere, or are they just doing that to appease?
Not appease. They want to have a great night. Let's be honest. You know how many brothers I saw out there today with balloons, with teddy bears, with roses. Some of them had a little alcohol. I guess they're going to have a little party tonight. But it's the mindset where I want to show her that I care about her and I love her. But in the back of their mind, they also know that she's expecting something, you know, chocolates or whatever that is that you believe that she is having a desire for. And that is going to be probably a great sexual escapade night, you know. So kind of the woman is looking forward to it too. But I also need people who get into arguments over this day because he didn't get me this. Oh, he got me one rose? Where's the dozen? Girl, what you get in the comparison in the relationships and all the trauma and all the drama that's going on if you forget or if you don't buy what is expected of you to buy. And so the question really is, to me, is why do we just take this day and celebrate love when we really should be celebrating each other every single day? You should just be popping up with you know, carnations every now and then, and lotus flowers every now and then, and cooking me dinner in a nice little bath water every now and then. Why on this day? Because if you often did it and on this day you didn't do it, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
My question now, listening to all of that, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Okay. I just escaped me which I was talking. I was trying to be polite, but the fact is that how do we really distinguish when somebody really loves you? You understand what I'm saying? I can buy you this, I can buy you that, give you the best of this, but that doesn't mean you love somebody. You understand? That's just the outer things. You understand?
Love language. Isn't one of the love languages? Please educate him because he said buy you.
Yeah, it depends because there are various aspects to one's love language.
Okay.
For me,
See, now that's a language I don't know.
for me,
that might be a new
I
language.
know,
It is a love language.
a mental connection. And for me, you should be sharing that love and little acts of love all year round. You know,
Okay.
it doesn't have to be this,
just one
you know.
particular day.
Yeah.
There's a love language where you buy people things.
No, I have
Some
no
people are
issue with
into
that.
that. Some people, you know, male and
Keep it
female,
simple. Keep it
because
simple.
you know, it's like if you know that that's what your partner likes, then maybe on, you know, random days, this day, if that's what she wants to celebrate like that, then go do something for her, you know, because that's who you chose.
And it shouldn't be just one day a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
You know, it shouldn't be one day a year. It should be, you know, even Steven and you know, you just don't do it. Oh, now I got to go all out.
Right.
You know, no. It should be something. If I saw something I thought you would like, and I think you would
Right.
like,
Right.
You know, this is it. And likewise, it's not one way street.
Right. If I know you like something done a certain way, you know, if I know that you want me to take the trash out and do the dishes, you should be doing, you know, on a regular basis so that when Valentine's Day came, it would never be a problem or misunderstanding
No,
or
exactly, no.
miscommunication, or love for you to find different flavors of chocolate.
Granted, it's always easiest when your partner instinctually does these things, or he just pays so much attention that he
Naturally, it just comes
You-
natural.
yeah.
It just comes natural.
yeah.
And
I
it's
love
good.
the man who just like he pays attention. He like and
Girl,
I just I'm like, oh my God,
Yes.
it's so refreshing. I'm like,
I-
because I'm that person.
Yeah.
I'm that person to my man. I'm that person to my friends. Everyone goes, oh yeah, we know we come to Kim's house. She's gonna take care of us. I'm just like,
That's right.
who's taking care of Kimberly?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
True.
And so I want to breathe sometimes too.
Definitely, no two ways about it. But the thing is that, as my mother would say, you start out like you can keep up.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times people start coming out the gate and flowers, jewelry. And I'm not saying that those are not things, and just attention a lot of times. Don't come home and just cut on the TV and watch the game and you haven't come in and asked me how my day was or whatever the case may be, So the thing is that a lot of it is a thing of just really knowing who you're dealing with. And some women, I shouldn't say some, but women are just like the stars in the sky. They're all different. You understand that this is it. And you have to really learn someone in order to love them. You just can't say, well, after 2 dates, I'm in love with you. No, you're in love with the idea of me. You understand? But you haven't gotten into me because, see, I can be on wheels, and you know that. Excuse my expression sometimes, but no. But that's the fact. You have those that like that. You have a Jekyll and Hyde, and it's just the way it goes. And until you find out that there is no Hyde or that how to deal with Hyde, you're going to be not on a steady level or being able to say, well, okay, I really love you because I haven't seen everything about you. Not saying that there's some things that you never share. But this is the way it works out. But I think it's, as you said.
But wait a minute.
Uh-oh,
What about many years ago when they had, and in fact, actually, they still do this in some countries, arranged marriages where you never met your lover, your husband, and then they tell me that they stay married. They don't divorce. So I don't know you. So how do I love you if I don't know you? So is there a such thing as learning to grow to love your partner? And if it is such a thing, then why can't we who already know each other get together and stay together and learn to grow to learn to love each other? If they can do it and they never met and it's an arranged marriage, how come we can't do it here in America?
Marriages, especially like in India and so forth, they do a lot of research. Like I don't know if they're using horoscopes or what.
Yes,
I don't know what
they
they're
are.
using. But they do a lot of research and numerology as well,
Yes.
and trying to match the people well. And then within that, culturally, they're a culture that they try to stay together. Yeah, they try to because as long as there's respect, you could probably be fine.
Yes.
Are you going to be like, so passionate and everything? No, but then you probably won't have your heart broken later on either. I'm just saying,
You're right.
Yeah.
So should we be more of a people where, we have a child? Should we look more into, what's your sign?
Sagittarius.
Oh, no, we don't need no Sagittarius. No.
I'm gonna tell you why. 'Cause when we pull back that arrow, we don't miss our mark. You understand what I'm saying? We do not miss our mark.
That's wrong. That's the Sagittarius. But I'll be like, ducking.
That's
Hold up.
That's right. The buck stops here. But no, when we pull back that arrow, we do not. It can be anything. It can be history, whatever you're into or studying. When we get into it, we're into it. And it's just the way it is. And when we pull it back, we need to pull that arrow back. We hit a dead mark. And this is it. I mean, I'm not saying that all of them do, but yes, at least in my life, I've noticed that with myself. I can be very direct. If I'm locked in on something.
So do you feel like you go better with this is for both of you, do you feel like you go better with a certain type of person, or does a zodiac sign play a role? Do you actually ask people what's your sign?
I don't ask, and it's interesting because as I've aged, I learned that nearly, not everyone, I'm an air sign, and nearly all the men that I've dated have been air signs. Not just who I gravitated to.
Yeah.
That's not everybody. As I got a little older, Aries played away, in my life, but Mostly air
Air
signs.
signs.
Mhm.
Wow,
I
that's
never-
interesting.
Never put much into it as
Yeah.
far as the zodiac.
Yeah, I only learned later on.
Yeah.
I was like,
and,
oh, that's your sign. You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
interesting.
But I mean, there's a science to it.
Mhm.
No two ways
Mhm.
about it.
It is.
But there's definitely a science to it. But
Mhm.
I try to take people on face value, so to speak.
Me too.
And just I look for the
Mhm.
not so much the signs, but
Mhm.
when you see something like okay, you make that mental.
Yeah, I file everything away.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
always talk about it, but I file it
It doesn't
away.
have to be a relationship with
Mhm.
somebody I'm working with.
Mhm.
Right.
I know this is
Mhm.
about.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And I said, now you got one more time to do that, and I'm gonna have to pull your ear. This is just the way that goes.
But you know what I realized?
Mhm.
So in the African American community, right, and we go by zodiac signs.
Mhm.
What I realized that is sometimes the same zodiac sign in another culture is
Mhm.
different
Mhm.
somehow than the
Mhm.
zodiac sign here in America. So it's difficult to say, oh, I
Right.
only date a fire sign or an
Mhm.
earth
Right.
sign,
Mhm.
because when I ran into someone from another culture,
Mhm.
it was very different
Mhm.
than what I experienced here in America. And I was just like, this is an interesting dynamic. And so why should you limit yourself to that one zodiac sign that because they try to assign you when you go online and a zodiac sign says, no, you're not a match. You're not a match for this one. And the way they play these games with us, for all we know,
Right.
they're keeping us from the perfect match.
I don't know that
There's
perfect matches.
there's not a perfect match.
Thank you.
You know, because we're all human beings. So it's never a perfect match because we do not live in a perfect world.
And we're not perfect individuals.
Right, we're not, right.
And then
You know,
saying,
we
I
not.
don't know if you've ever heard it, but water seeps to its own level.
Right.
And that's just the way it goes.
And then it's
I
just
don't know if
like,
you've ever heard
right,
it.
just like you said, and just like you said with zodiac signs, and it's just like American Sign Language. What we do in American Sign Language, in London, they do something different with their sign language. So it's totally different, you know?
But you got to think about it. There are different time zones
Right.
around the world. So,
Yep.
so it could have been a different day, based on the time the person was born. So it could be a
Right.
little off,
Because even when you
Culture
read
plays
the
a
zodiac
role
signs,
in
you're going
the
to,
It does. It
culture.
does.
Yeah.
right. Even when you read about Scorpios, are you reading for all the Scorpios that's in the world? And, are you reading for all the Scorpios that's in this country? I mean, are they acting the same? Are they? So it's like, okay, my day's gonna be what my day's gonna be like. Okay, so my brother's a Scorpio, so what his day's gonna be like my day too, and because it says. It says I'm gonna have a bad day. Okay, so my brother's a Scorpio, so he's gonna have a bad day too.
No.
Yeah.
Put a little bit too much into the horoscope.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
People are people.
Like I said, I've never
This
really
is it.
paid much attention to
And,
that.
I mean, it is a good thing to look at. Some of them
Right.
are straight,
Or
you
accurate.
read up on them, and yes, they're exactly. But then you have those that don't fit into it.
Right.
And it's just the way, and I guess it's just the way they make it up. So I've never made much out of it.
Me too.
I do
never
read
did
it.
either.
Not as much as I used to,
Right.
but then the stars, they move just like everything else, and the
This is
planets and so on and so forth. So doesn't mean because you're born on a particular sign that
Right.
you're cut
It's
into
gonna,
this
yeah.
particular pattern.
This is true.
And this is it. But I think with us, I think that we've progressed past it. But the fact is, I think in the time of slavery and thereafter, relationships between black men and black women were a lot different.
Right.
In regards to what the role the male and the female played. You understand?
You're gonna get into that,
I mean,
I was gonna say no.
I'm
I'm kind of going a little forward because I had thought about the time where women's lib came about and so forth. And at some point in my adulthood, I've actually said that I feel that a bit of that has done a disservice to women.
Of course.
I don't know if you agree, but yeah, because I feel like it's a combination. A lot of men do far less, and not just in this culture, but like
in other cultures.
Yeah, okay.
Well, in other cultures, they're more dominant.
Yeah.
You do what I do, and you get like that. That's just the way it goes.
African culture.
But that's the culture. That's the
Go-
culture. But it's
go
different
around the world.
cultures.
True. But like in Northern Europe, they it's a very weird Dutch for everything, Yeah, which is really odd, for them when they come over here, like, oh, men actually do things for you. It was like, yeah,
I understand.
Anywho, But the other thing, but we were talking about women's lib kind of changing the dynamics of the household. And, and I, truth be told, y'all don't know what kind of household y'all grew up in. Granted, I had a two-parent household, but, my mother was, she was like the most dependable person, the dependable one, make sure everything got done. And, my father was like, yeah, maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I know for me that I've grown up expecting less from men, expecting less, expecting them not to, really show up and follow through or be like fully,
Okay.
I know I've done that. And I'm just like,
I'm listening, but go ahead. I'm
yeah.
That's
So I'm just like,
it's interesting you say that because I grew up in a two-parent household also, and my mother was sort of the Southern Belle kind of mom, and my dad was sort of, he went out, he made all the money. When he came home, he laid down the law, and I grew up expecting a lot from men, expecting them to be like my father, expecting them to man up, step up, do this. And it turned that we were going into this movement of women being more independent and relying less and less on men. And so I'm like, where's all the men that are like my dad?
Right.
And it's not a lot of men. And then when I speak, I'm gonna say that I've dated men from other cultures. So at this time in my life, I was dating a lot of African American men, and a lot of them were not like my dad. But I found that when I went outside of my culture, I found men that were more like my dad, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely fell in line, and it allowed me to be more feminine.
It allows you to be, it really does. It's not, I don't know if it's a American black man thing. I don't know, because I've dated men from, varying ethnicities and everything from all over the world, and it's the same thing. But I think that the important thing for me is that the man is in tune to the things I like as well, and they make that effort to do something from time to time, right? I think a lot of men here. Nah, I'm not saying everybody,
No.
But I feel like men have so many women just, waiting in the. It's crazy.
It's a generational thing. 40, 50 years ago was a different story. Nowadays, with the zeitgeist, if you understand what I'm saying, that they have put out there, which means mind's time. I mean, not being so educated, but anyway, that's the word, zeitgeist. That it's all changed now. For the stuff we see on television, they feel like, James Brown said as a man as well, but what would it be without? This is it. So I guess it all depends on when you come into the game. I look at these young brothers nowadays, and I'm like, wow.
It's really crazy. I hear the young people, the 20-somethings, and these women just do everything for them. I'm just like, what? It changes the dynamics of a relationship. And I'm telling the young men who I'm like, bonus mom to, I'm telling them, no, this is not the way it should be. And you should not even be accepting this from these women. This is crazy. And they're just like, she want to do it. But and for me, but I heard that shift back, I don't know, 30 years ago when I was mentor, and the young girl that I was mentoring, she was talking about this sort of thing. And I was like, no, you shouldn't be doing that. And the men want you to buy them everything. And I was like, oh God.
Oh, what about that phrase, what are you bringing to the table? Have you used that phrase lately? What are you bringing to the table?
I've never used that expression because I came along at a time where men carried themselves like men. And the practice is that, having a grandfather and a father, that you try to walk in their footsteps. My grandfather and father were members of the Masonic fraternity. I knew it was something about that organization, and that's why I followed through. I was intrigued by it. But anyway, make a long story short, I'm not going to go through all that as far as that's concerned. But the fact is that, you have to have, footsteps, you know, like they have that poem or whatever, where you have a footstep. And the thing is that, I don't know, nowadays with all this on the television, and
Media.
no, let's not even talk about the internet and all this other stuff.
Media.
Things have gotten distorted.
Yep.
They've truly gotten distorted. And
Yep.
I think with a lot of these young people today, as far as relationships are concerned, because, you know, you have those that, you know, feel that, okay, she works, well, I'm gonna help her spend her check. You know, no, that's
No,
not
don't worry.
And you a girlfriend and boyfriend? We ain't doing that, you know. I'll sit here and eat and watch you die. No, let me stop. No, let me stop. But the fact is that sometimes the attitude you have to be, because these guys, they're basically pimping them out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
they
And,
are.
I mean, are you familiar with this or what? Because you're kind of quiet over there. But that
We got you in the hot seat. Why should he jump in? You over here frying and sizzling. The oil
no, the oil ain't popping. I put it up. I let it be known that no.
You want to close out?
Yeah, he's cooking now.
No, I don't think so. Because the fact is, I can't speak for everybody.
Right.
You know, but the fact is that I know when I'm married thinking that, you know, this is going to be it. Biggest nightmare. But but I would do it again, yes. But I bet you it would be a lot different.
No, fall in love. Don't even think about it. Just fall.
Let me ask you, like I asked earlier, do you love with your heart or do you love with your mind? You understand? This is it. So the question is, are you in your right mind when you think you're in love?
Everybody gets a little crazy every now and then.
Yeah, but something that's when you gotta go and look in the mirror. That man in the mirror, whatever they ask him, like, listen, what's going on, man? You know? And this is it, you know. I'm being torn in so many different directions, you know. But no, I do believe that with us having been brought here to America, whatever the case may be, that the norm that we had prior to was different. It was a different mindset. You know? It's just the way it is. We've allowed ourselves to be drawn into it, you know. And you have to kind of, you know, differentiate and realize that, you know, their lifestyle and your lifestyle, even though you have the same money, whatever the case may be, it's the background, you know. And are you actually in love, or are you deluding yourself into thinking that you're in love? You understand? This is it. I mean, it's a thin line between love and hate. It's true. You know, and it's very, I heard that all back then. It's true, because I can tell you, you know, one minute you're in love with them, and the next minute you want to, no, I would say choke. We're going
to close out now.
Yes.
We're going to close out with a strong energy of love. And this is the love that's talking about February 28th, 2025. And the companies that I'm going to ask our sister to tell us about the companies.
Yes.
Please.
Yes. So there's a call. I'm going to read directly from the note. There's a call to action for Black Americans, modern day civil rights boycott. On Wednesday, we do not, I repeat, we do not shop at any stores unless they are Black owned. So if you need to go to the market or anywhere else, you can go on Tuesday or Thursday, but absolutely no stores on Wednesday, especially Target, Walmart, Sam's Club. Please pass the word to your families and friends and other buyers. Pass it on. This is an intention to all of the brothers and sisters out there. We want you to support our community of Black-owned businesses. So some other companies I'd like to mention are Costco's, Meher, Kroger, Giant Grocery Store, Ben & Jerry's, Ulta, Macy's, Old Navy, Nordstrom, TJ Maxx, Got Two Foods, includes Moe's Southern Grill, Auntie Anne's, Jamba, Cinnabon, and more. Dollar Tree, Walgreens, and Wegmans. So those are the list of stores that you want to target.
One more.
One more.
If you're going to get your hair done by a beautician, you're going to get if you need a haircut, please support Salon Leahing
Yes.
in Brooklyn, New York.
Yes.
We're here live with them, and they're excellent beauticians, excellent barbers. And please, come to Salon Leahing, 732 Washington Avenue, between Prospect Place and Park Place. And trust me, you're going to get a style, you're going to get love, you're going to get energy that's pouring out. So please come. 718-230-4100. 718-230-4100. Salon Leahing.
Yes, y'all. If y'all want to get y'all hair done, you want to come out here to Brooklyn, New York and get her done. Support the Black-owned salon. And we have our Black sisters here who are doing hair. And it's 732 Washington Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. And Duke already gave y'all the phone number. So call, make an appointment, and get out here and get her done. Only Black businesses, you guys. But if you're going to come here all the time, not just on that day. If you have a weekly appointment, if you have a monthly appointment, or whatever it is you got going on, come here and support Black businesses and other Black businesses. And we love y'all.
Come get your hair did.
Take me off there, dude.
Okay.
Oh boy, really,
Okay.
this is
Press
very
the
interesting.
button.